Today, let's have a conversation about automating some of the onboarding process. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you here. I learn by teaching, and it's a really good principle. If you can apply this in your own business with your own team, when you start to learn something, you start to read stuff, it's so good to be able to teach it. And this YouTube channel is one of my platforms to be able to teach others and learn at the same time. And it's the same with the podcast as well. I'm not only sharing great information, but also learning as well from the people who are on there. Now this I have learned recently through a course on client-portal.io. I'll pop a link down below. They're doing a brilliant free course, and that's all about the process of onboarding your client for a web design or a design project and helping them understand where all the bits and pieces is, what they need to do, etc., etc. And during the course, Laura, who runs it, has unpacked the importance of preparing in advance kind of a standard package for your onboarding process. So that includes doing some homework and actually listing out every single part of the process of a build from the very beginning, when you've actually got the sale, right through to the very end. And I don't mean just creating a list of tasks like design and then convert design, etc. I actually mean the entire conversation that you're going to need to have with your client. So right at the very beginning, what are the elements you need? What sort of content, what imagery, what brand assets, guidelines, all of those sorts of things. What homework do you need to give your client, etc. And essentially work through a full list. So that's something that we've been working on. We've got an existing process which kind of covers what we do internally. But what we've been doing now is fleshing that out and adding everything else that we can do. What can we do to help the client through this process as well? What questions can we be asking even earlier so that by the time we get to the bit we need to do, we've already got the information? And the other thing that she was saying with regards to automating the process is actually creating all of the relevant email templates before you've even got there. So if we create a package, we can have our initial introductory email already written with just a few spaces to fill in the custom information for that client. And then the next email may be a request for assets. The next email may be a here is your first wave of designs. And then all you're doing is inserting the link in the relevant place and maybe a paragraph to describe what you did. But all of the other text has already been pre-written before the project. And she goes through and talks about going through the entire project and getting all of your email templates, all of your communications already done. And it is still personal because there is space for you to obviously put the link in, but also to put personalized paragraphs of information for that person. However, if you were to say, well, that sounds too impersonal to me, the downside is that we waste so much time during a project recreating the same email every single time, but also we forget things. When I'm sending a client an email saying, hey, here's your design, here's what we've done, etc., etc., there are so many things and questions or next steps that I want the client to take that I forget to ask them in the email, and I end up sending 3 or 4. And Laura is so right to have that template right from the very get-go, and you're just changing the relevant parts. It takes a lot less time, and it also ensures that you've remembered everything that you need to do at that particular stage. So planning your onboarding process and as well as getting them through the entire project is super important. I thought we had it nailed until I went through this course, and clearly there is still a lot I can learn. So again, head on over to client-portal.io. I'll put a link in the description and you can get access to that course. It's completely free. And thank you, Laura, for that. Also, again, when that show goes live, that'll be in about 3 or 4 weeks from now, I'll make sure we come back and put a link to the show in the show notes below. If you liked this content, please give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like this content, let's keep that a secret. If you like receiving beautiful videos from this guy, whatever. If you like receiving videos from this guy, hit that subscribe button. If you want to talk about automation, if you want to talk about the onboarding process, hit us up in the comments below, or if you want to join the Facebook group where it's a bit more private environment, then head on over to wpinnovator.com/group. We're still in VEDA. We'll see you tomorrow.